Welcome back to Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I'm Wex Majors with...
Spider-Man.
We are literally starting out on the opposite side of the island this time to show off some of the mini-games that this game has presented.
Finally.
Yeah, I wanted to show these off because they're incredibly varied, considering that it's Hulk.
Right, this is what really just pushes the game over the edge into something really interesting, because... I'm sorry, I should probably let you explain the mechanics of this.
Yeah, it's essentially a race, and the idea here for this one is don't touch the white cars, which sounds easier than it actually is, because every time Hulk moves, he creates a giant path of destruction all around him.
As is appropriate for
Yes.
the motherfucking Hulk. Ooh, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't even turn around without sitting there and setting off the car alarm. So I said, fuck it, and tried another one. This is just another race, and it brings up one of the main problems I always have with this, is that the little icons you have to literally run over. There's no sort of area of effect for it. You have to actually hit them, and Hulk isn't about precision. So, of course, I fucking miss every single one on the first time, and it takes me about 5 times as long just to be able to actually hit it. Like, I flew right over that thing, and in any other aspect, it should have just fucking counted.
Well, I mean, I'll give them credit in that they don't really repeat missions. I mean, there aren't, like, a lot of missions like this. Unlike with, like, Spider-Man 2, where there were only, like, what? 7 different kinds of
I mean,
missions
that
weren't, you know, hero things.
That is the good thing, is that, like, even though this pops up and I think there's 3 different races, something along those lines,
Yeah.
you don't have to do it. Like, you can walk up to the icon, see that it's a race, go, fuck that noise, I don't want to do it, and just go skip on to the next one.
Also, at no point do you have to do things like get a certain amount of smash points to progress to a new chapter.
Yeah, the Smash Point collection up in the top left, is just your money amount, like in an RPG. It affects absolutely nothing in terms of the story. You can unlock moves with it, but you don't necessarily need the moves to progress throughout the course of the game. It just makes it infinitely easier.
I'd like to see a minimalist run of this game.
That's an interesting idea. You do start out with a surprisingly low amount of stuff. Hulk, by the end of the game, which obviously we have, can
Right.
jump, can extend his jump 3 different times. His, you know, plus not to mention his charge jump goes longer and farther. All
Also,
that
this move is, you know, not available at the beginning, which I believe that this move is required to beat the game. In fact, I'm positive.
Alright, so it just means that there is actually some stuff you have to buy.
Right.
You saw right there that actually, yeah, the tanks do fire back the energy bullets. So there's at least confirmation in that. I love the hell out of this minigame. It's super simple, it's fun, you don't have a lot of places to go, meaning that what you actually need to do is just retardedly simple. Beat the shit out of the tanks.
That's perfect for the Hulk, because, I mean, he bears intelligence in the comics. I mean, in Secret Wars he had the, you know, Brain and Bruce Banner, and, well, Secret Wars wasn't very good.
So the trick to this one, eventually I figured out, is to use the tank as a shield, and then just keep ramming A repeatedly, because it knocks off enough of the health bar to just sit there and constantly tap the thing to death. Of course, the downside is you've got a giant shield in your way, so actually being able to figure out if you're close enough to hit the tank is a little difficult. Not to mention they are firing energy blasts at you from all sides.
Yep.
Yeah. Basic stuff for Hulk, really.
Is there a health bar for that shield?
It does eventually break, but eventually is like, yeah, that was what, 5 tanks?
Also,
And you can just pick up another one, obviously.
Why aren't you charging your blows?
Don't need to. It takes longer. It's actually the quickest way to sit there and destroy the tank just by rapidly tapping A with whatever charged up shot that manages to get you. That one there killed the tank, actually, with the energy reflection. I found it somewhere in the city, but I don't think I actually showed it off. There is, it might actually be in the desert, which I guess I might go back for the next update.
Isn't the hammer throw, like, you know, grabbing the tank by the barrel, isn't that a one-hit kill on the tank and whatever you hit it with?
Not necessarily. If they both connect with each other straight off of the bat, they will blow up both tanks, yeah, but when you fire the tank at the other tank, it acts like a projectile, like any other projectile, and if it hits, say, the side of the bridge here, it gets deflected and therefore doesn't do as much damage. There's not really a lot to that one. This one, however...
Oh god, yes.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Hulk plays a little bit of baseball, and once again, I am terrible. The idea is guys jump out of the helicopters, and you have a big, giant stick that you're supposed to beat them with. The more soldiers you hit, the higher your score goes up. Occasionally, more than one guy pops out. Gives you like a triple hit combo. And just hit as many soldiers away as humanly possible. The trick to this is to not run around like a madman chasing after each individual helicopter. Stick to one side of it, usually 2 of them at best, and anytime they fire out 3, you go for it. You don't need to do anything with this. All you need to do is hit either A or Y. Both will sit there and send them flying. They just have a different timing factor. If you hit all 3, you're golden.
Yeah, I mean, this is like really morbid. It's just like, you know, these soldiers are just like dropping out of this helicopter. It's just like,
this infinitely spawning helicopter with an infinite number of soldiers on it.
Like, I mean, I can't think of another game that does something like this.
Yeah, you don't necessarily see this often. Like, there's no canon to this. It's not part of the story. It's literally taking parts of the gameplay and going, well, let's make it kind of silly and fun.
Yeah. I mean, there are some silly and fun things in, like, the game proper, but this is fun. I love it.
Who doesn't love playing baseball with soldiers? The other that actually brings up another interesting point I like is that, for whatever reason, most of the mini-games in this are all along the idea of Hulk play, insert sport here. That one was baseball. I guess you can call this one track and field. And I love it so.
Help! I like to think that when he puts it down, the driver inside's just a bloody husk.
Inside is just a pile of goo from the G-forces. But, you know, Hulk's heart was in the right place.
That's what counts.
I like this thing for more than just a couple reasons. One, they actually sat there and had the course that you have to run essentially be along the coastline of the city. So it's a lot easier to run it. Like, you don't necessarily need to do anything tricky and bounce between buildings with the ambulance in your hand. For most of it, it's just a straight run up along the city coast, and then eventually you turn inward.
Yay.
Found out I was actually doing pretty well on these. A lot of these things I was actually beating my high score, which is I was actually quite impressed with.
Good job. Oh, we should probably mention, you know, Ray Hulk.
Yep. The game has about 10,000 different skins for Hulk.
Most of them
are silly and do absolutely nothing. They changed the pattern on his pants to some sort of flag for reasons I'm not quite Sure, like, I don't get why you would want Hulk in a Spanish flag shorts, or German shorts, or even American shorts.
Well,
like, it doesn't really make any sense, but it's kind of funny. Great Hulk is actually...
the idea of a German Hulk.
You thought Hulk was mad before. Holy shit. Grey Hulk is actually the rewards you get for collecting all of the comic books, which, as I was recording, I was just like, fuck it, let's go do it, and I looked up game facts for it, and they're kind of easy to find, so I was like, might as well do it. I had already collected most of them throughout the real course of the game, because they're not hard to find for 75% of them.
Squadron leader, we are go for a combat run.
This minigame is ridiculously simple.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anybody dying in it, but I guess it's theoretically possible. Airplanes fly over you, jets fly or the missiles, you catch the missile, throw it back at the jet fighter.
Yeah.
Or, the missile reflect punch, but I'm kind of terrible at it, so I'm like, fuck it, let's just catch it. But it is possible while the missile's getting flown at you to just press B to punch it back in their face. So, you know.
And again, it's like you have multiple ways of horribly destroying everything.
Yeah, if you get bored of sitting there catching the missiles, you don't have to catch the missiles. Which I think is why most of these mini-games work, is that even though for me I sat there and just did one strategy and stuck to it, nothing's forcing you to. Even though you're stuck on top of this rooftop, you have more than one option to actually sit there and beat this minigame. It's a nice touch. Like, you don't often see that happening in most minigames like this. I still think I should have gotten that fucking thing. I should have counted, goddammit. Oh, yes. Here you go. This is what everybody was waiting for. This is the one that everybody was like, this has to happen. And it does 3 different times. Whole entire point of the game, 3 minutes of smashing. Smash the most shit. And despite how obtuse of a goal that is, it's surprisingly interesting and actually how they managed to make that challenging. Obviously, as Hulk, as I've shown off, you can just run straight through shit and wreck it. And that counts as a point. But you don't actually blow things up, unlike a certain other Hulk game that I've been seeing videos of pop up on my YouTube channel. Gee, I wonder why.
I have no idea.
Cars are intact after you run over them. It takes a couple hits to actually destroy even something as simple as that little blue car.
You get more points for bigger things?
Yes. Well, you don't get more points. For essentially everything you run through, you get a point. But if you blow up, say, this ambulance like I'm about to...
You get critical mass here?
Eventually.
Yeah. Yes!
But when you blow up the ambulance or any of the other cars, actually blow them up, you know, destroy their life bar, I believe you get 5 points. So you can either sit there and go, well, I'm going to blow up this car and get 5 points and take a while, or I can just randomly run roughshod through everything, knock over a bunch of shit, and get a bunch of random 1 point.
City surf, please, fucking city surf them.
The goal of this one is triple shockwave. It sends out, it's like spread gun and Contra. You just throw shit as far as possible, it'll hit something.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! You are breaking God!
Look at those points rack up. Look at that shit. Beautiful. I got 20 points out of that thing.
God, yes.
Now, Hulk has 2 critical mass powers. Hulk has the ground pound ability, and he also has a Hulk clap.
I'm pretty sure he has Thor.
I don't think so.
1 for each.
Well, there's an A and B, and there's an A and Y. There is an A and X. I don't really remember. I don't actually pay attention to the buttons.
I mean, I played it on the PlayStation 2, so
so
I remember.
You go, right? Yeah, you don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming
that I know of are those 2. Now, there are actually strategies for that. The Hulk ground pound just essentially sends out a shockwave through everything, as shown here. The Hulk clap is a little different in that what it'll actually do is actually suck in everything. So if you're around a bunch of cars and you sit there and you activate the Hulk hand clap, everything comes in towards you so that you can blow up more things. Which I did take advantage of in the first place to get like an extra 20 points on that. A lot of races in the mini games, but not all of them use the stupid blue cubes. This one is literally don't touch the ground, floor is lava mini, and is really, really fun to do.
Oh, no. And then you can just... You're so worried, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna fall, and then you're just like, nope, and you grab the fucking wall.
Yep. It's really hard. They start you out in downtown, midtown. So it's really difficult to actually sit there and fuck this one up. But you also get a taste...
I thought you were gonna say this is really difficult, and I was gonna be like, no it isn't.
No. Definitely not. I managed to get a silver medal on it, so if I manage to do kind of okay, you know it's pretty fucking easy. The only difficult part is sometimes when you're sitting there and you're bouncing from rooftop to rooftop, and if you make a mistake and miss the roof or whatever, sometimes there is no backup rooftop. A lot of these things have multiple rooftops, so that it gives it like a little bit of a wider area. And sometimes you might just fucking miss it, and there's no wall next to you to grab, and you're kind of fucked.
But also, you know, you have all the movement upgrades, like the 2 air dashes. And,
yeah. Obviously, this one is one of those things where you want to sit there and try it more towards the end of the game, when you can triple your air dash punch thing. I don't know what the fuck it's called. I guess it's literally air dash.
Oh god!
Like, I really don't think I have to actually explain these things, because I think that little title bar does it pretty good. So right off the bat, I'm like, fuck this shit. Where's the biggest goddamn vehicle I can find? As high as possible.
And I was on top of a fucking building.
Oh, it's the best metro transport there is. Look at that. Playing it on top of the building, you immediately get 400 points, and the rest is cakewalk.
I love that even if you don't, like, do a ground pound, if you fall from, like, any height at all, there's just this shockwave.
Yeah, because you weigh, like, 15 tons or whatever it is.
Excuse me, I think if you look in the Marvel Encyclopedia, you'll find... I don't actually know.
Talk about how fun this is. I'll be right back. I wasn't kidding. Talk about how fun this is.
I mean, I just really love the idea to just take these buildings, take these cars, put them on a fucking building, and then as we should...
There's no explanation for why you're putting it on top of the building.
Hulk has a problem. This is how Hulk deals with his obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Gross action. Hulk hate traffic jam. Hulk fix traffic jam.
Hulk truly is a tragic figure.
Why is it so fucking goddamn difficult to figure out how much the Hulk weighs? It's the internet. Shouldn't this be the first listing? I'm vastly disappointed.
God, Ball and Chain, Ball and... Oh, I mean, if we weren't playing this, I would just ask you to be like, just fucking, and, like, take that thing and destroy it, because Ball and Chain, man. I fucking love it. You need to show that off, by the way.
I love the backflip, by the way. I keep forgetting that he does that. Excuse me, the Hulk actually weighs 1,400 pounds in the Green Hulk. Thank you. He possibly might weigh less when he is Grey Hulk.
Oh, Lord. Oh, God, yes, this thing. Fuck.
Some of the buildings, like I said a little bit earlier, are destructible completely, but then some of them are just kind of like silly like that. So since I showed the vehicle off in the last mission, I'm like, well, I might as well show off its really good ability. Hulk now is Santa, with bringing presents of destruction and chaos.
Oh god, you are teasing me the fuck out of me here. Do it.
Well,
Do it.
here you go. Catch.
Oh, god. It just goes flying.
And it never just hits one thing either. It always sits there and sends like 15 different things flying. Gosh, the people go flying like the ragdolls that they are. It's a beautiful thing. It's the best thing Hulk can pick up. It destroys everything. It's really quick, which is the other really awesome thing. You don't see fucking projectiles like that come back to you that quickly.
It's honestly, I compare...
The range on this thing is retarded too. Like,
amazing.
look at that shit. That was what, 30 seconds?
Not even like 10. But I mean, it's just like it's like a goddamn yo-yo.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking wrecking ball.
So I had to show it off.
No.
I'm like, no, I really don't want to do it at all. Please, for the love of Christ, don't make me do it.
Fling.
So instead, I'm like, let's blow up some more shit, because really, when it all...
Yes, city surf, city surf, city surf, city surf.
So, like, obviously, you can have the option to make a bus into a shield, but you also have the everybody go surfing. Surfing.
Oh my god. Everything is beautiful. And now Hulk is a fireman. Hulk is also not hurt at all by fire.
I showed it up once before. But it's one of the very few times where they sit there and they're like, oh yeah, Hulk's technically a hero, so let's give him some hero stuff. And they tried. Now, you...
Such a brilliant little touch.
Might have just accidentally jumped on her, so I'm like, oh, sorry, I'll pick you up, bring you back down. Oops. It's okay, you're fine. A 1,400-pound monster jumped on your spine.
Okay. Really cowards.
The sound it makes when he picks somebody up, too. That
crunch.
You're like, oh god, my spine, my blood.
It's like slapping a... It's like he's driving his fist through a slab of meat.
I guess technically he is. I've been tenderized. If you remember to do it, which I never do, you actually can sit there and do that to the soldiers that you pick up in the regular game.
No, you can't. You slam them into the ground.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. It's the regular civilians that I just keep forgetting about and just plow through.
Oh god. Can you destroy the building?
No.
Aww.
You'll find out why in a bit.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing why, since it goes against the purpose of the mission. But I mean, that's what pickup
is that you can blow up.
Doesn't it have the Blonsky logo on it? Or the whatever. Or the Division Corps, whatever.
I don't know. Let's find out when I go back to it. I don't remember offhand.
Yeah, it does. That's the model of the building that you can blow up.
No, there are multiple buildings you can blow up in the game.
No, I mean, like, no, but they all have, like, the same...
No, they look different.
I'm pretty reasonably sure you're wrong.
Nope. Definitely right on this one.
Well, you also think there's only 2 critical mass moves, which I'm positive is wrong.
Well, go look it up and tell me I'm wrong.
I will as soon as the video's done, because my setup will make it so that there will be really loud mouse clicks in the video, and it will be really distracting for the viewer. Even more distracting.
Maybe don't click so hard. What do you have the fucking mic right next to your damn mouse for some weird reason?
Yes.
You know what you're doing?
Yes.
Do you secretly have no hands?
How did you know?
Knew it. Knew there was a trick. Do you have to type with your face?
I type with my tongue.
That's a little weird.
I
had to show it
I
off.
cover my keyboard in jelly.
Because it was mandatory.
Yes.
And it sucks. I hate it. It's the worst of all Hulk play Wii Sports minigames. Because of things like this. I'm hitting this thing with a giant piece of an oil rig, and it doesn't move. What the fuck, man? Hulk worst golfer there is. Not even close.
No, but that's the damn point.
This annoys the hell out of me. It blows up the cars and doesn't do the same amount of force to the golf ball. Like, the golf ball has this weird inertia coded into it.
I mean, that's the damn point, that the Hulk is a terrible golfer.
So then why put it in there and make me bounce through all these buildings and shit?
It's not making you do anything.
Liar! I had to show it off, because if I didn't, somebody would get mad at the thread and go, why didn't you show off golf? And I can't just be like, well, because it sucks.
And that person would be me.
Yeah, I know. Thanks for that. So this is for you. You get to sit here and suffer through 3 minutes of me trying to figure out how to hit a golf ball forward. Hulk need take birdie. What? Fuck that ambulance. It just fucked up my game, so it deserves it. You don't have this shit happening in a real game of golf. A dog doesn't run onto the thing and sit there and try to play fetch with the ball.
Oh.
It's entirely unfair. It got stopped by a street sign that just blows up whenever anything else touches it, but not this giant 6-foot-tall golf ball. This doesn't count.
That's a terrible golf ball texture.
Thank you. Yeah, it's not even like a golf ball texture. It's like a tetherball texture or some shit. Like something you would see in gym class when nobody feels like playing touch football. Fuck, I hate this game. This is for you, Internet. I did this for you. I want this pointed out specifically. All I wanted to do was just end this and blow up random things. But I can't, because I have to show off mini-golf. Oh, god damn.
Oh.
Send any angry complaints to Spider-Man.
Or the guy who's wearing my skin. It's
the weirdest story I heard all week. What the fuck? Why is some guy impersonating you on Twitter? On Twitter.
I think it has to do with... I'm not going to get into internet politics here. I've already committed the cardinal sin of discussing technical issues, but...
Because there's a lot of weirdos on Twitter?
Well, I mean, it has to do with something awful forums drama, but whatever. No, but I mean...
This hole is driving me insane. Like, I gotta fire it over these goddamn 15,000 story tall skyscrapers. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? I'm Hulk, not Superman.
Oh, God.
Like, I need MapQuest directions to figure out how the fuck to get this ball to the goddamn hole. Go up 1 block, make a left, and of course it goes way too goddamn far because I'm the Hulk hitting something with a part of an oil rig. Cars in my... Like, this is the worst golf course ever. Who designed this thing? Let's speak to the general manager of this golf course.
I sure wish I knew anything about golf so I could make a joke here, so,
Something, something Tiger Woods. Something, something Masters. Something, something Green Jacket.
PGA.
God. Thank God. Fuck this goddamn mission. Let's go blow up some shit.
Yeah.
Hulkanoid. Hulk needs stress relief. Where bus?
Bus.
Just check those fly. See how much better this is than golf? Why would you ever do golf?
Throw it into the ocean.
Fuck that ambulance. Teach you to get in my way. Now you're a pile of goo.
City sir, city sir, city sir. City sir!
Look how much shit just falls before this. I love this. Why don't all games feature this? There was an interesting, there are like making of and behind the scenes videos of stuff. I might show off, but maybe not. That you can unlock throughout the course of the game, and a lot of this stuff, because obviously this was a making of, so the game wasn't necessarily finished when they were showing them off. And one of the interesting parts is that when they were initially, like, this idea that they had for Hulk surfing was like #2 idea in the entire course of the game.
Let me guess what #1 was. Steel Fest.
Yeah, essentially. But their model for how they were going to handle the surfing was interesting, and it wasn't like this bus obviously transformed into a makeshift board of some sort. It was like a weird sort of debris that was just like a little cylinder underneath Hulk. So it wasn't nearly as fun looking, because it wasn't obviously like Hulk need to improvise. Where nearest metro bus stop? Okay, now Hulk have board. It was more like Hulk picked up like a manhole cover and just decided this works. Which really also he could do too, because who's going to argue with him? Oh, best move in the game. Nothing like an ollie into a helicopter. I must admit, I got slightly confused there. My bad.
Also good is, you know, camera making it so that Hulk goes semi-transparent after the camera gets.
The camera is surprisingly good in this game. Like, I know I was making fun of the transparent cows, but like, it's done worse. Like, there's been way worse cameras. Spider-Man 2's camera wasn't nearly as good as this. I gotta admit, at this point, I was kind of sick and tired of the minigame, so I was like, nah, you know what, let's go find some story missions. Which I think is also a good idea for the next update. Spider, anything to say in the next 10 seconds?
Oh, I'm so tired from college.
Yeah, you might want to go get some sleep, dog. I heard it was a good idea.
Sleep is for people who have time management skills.
Yeah, I guess.